Oh, hi, welcome to a video series in which I continue book series, because I'm in the middle of too many, I think. Okay, wait, so last month, I remember the math got wild because one of the series I finished, I didn't actually on my tracker. So while I finished technically more than I started, that one actually was on the list, so I was still at 58, and I think I started another series since then. I think I'm at 59. I think I'm at 59, which is insane. I'm not doing the, me voice recording my, intro for this one. I don't know if I like that. I'll be honest. But I will have here, a screen recording of my whole entire list of series I'm in the middle of. Now, what's important for this one is the ones with a little blue banner right next to the space for a check mark. Check mark means it is still coming out, right? The blue banner means I can read the series on Kindle Unlimited, which is important for this one because the theme is Kindle Unlimited. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Girl got Kindle Unlimited in it because she happened to have a deal, and a lot of the books for future videos I want to do are indie or self, so easier to get on Kindle Unlimited. Fuck Bezos, but you know, it's what we gotta do sometimes to support authors. Anyways, so I thought, why not do a vlog where I continue series that are on Kindle Unlimited. Hilariously, a lot of them I have like one book left in. I do remember that I started a new series. Yes, it's the Divine Rivals Ruthless Vows series. I don't actually remember the name of that series. That series I started like last week. I read the first one, and definitely Ruthless Vows is on Kindle Unlimited, so I can finish that duology in this vlog because I'm high-key obsessed. Anyways, there's a bunch that I want to do. There's a bunch that are on Kindle Unlimited. We love that for me. Ignore me having to pull up Libby to figure out what the first one's gonna be. I know I just said it's Kindle Unlimited. I'm dual reading the first one. Princess Game. It is the Princess Game. I thought I was going crazy. It is the Princess Game. Because the audiobook is due in 2 days. I'm great at this. Whoops. Anyways, yeah, the Princess Game. I think I have 3 audiobooks of books that are on Kindle Unlimited, so that's fun. Anyways, I should talk about The Princess Game by Melanie Sellier, which is the 5th? 4th? I know Sleeping Beauty. These are all like fairy tale retellings, kind of. It is the 4th. In the series, there's like a whole universe. This is the first series of like 4 or 5 now, and each one has at least 4 books in it. Right. There's like a whole entire like interconnected world. The Christmas novella, I believe, is connected to this one. And I'll be honest, I don't remember the Christmas novella. I did read it recently. Yes, it is the middle of the spring. Shush. Anyways, I think that one was the Frog Prince. And I remember there being a thing about her older sister, being cursed. So I might as well just read the synopsis to you because I don't know what this is about. I remember there being a conspiracy happening because that's just like an interconnected thing between all of these. And that her sister married the Frog Prince. The other thing I remember is that the person who I started reading these because of them, this is the first one that they actually liked. Like, they rated all of them 2 stars up until this one. This one they rated 4.5 stars, which, good sign. But also, I really liked the second one, the Red Riding Hood. So, I don't know what this means for me. Anyways, they call her the sleeping princess, but Celeste is far from asleep. Celeste has been cursed since her 16th birthday, just not in the way the rest of the kingdom thinks. All they see is her breathtaking beauty marred by her foolishness. Only she knows that she retained her brilliant mind, and it's a secret she must keep at all costs. Over the years, she's grown accustomed to the necessary deception. After all, her life depends on it, and she's even found a way to protect her kingdom working from the shadows. But now, a dangerous new threat has emerged, one that Celeste can't defeat alone. She needs the help of a newly arrived prince, one who's altogether too handsome and too charming. Funny. Somehow she needs to keep her secret, save the kingdom, and find a way to free herself from the curse. The last thing she has time to do is sleep. Okay, so like, is she viewed as being asleep as in mentally? Mentally. But that's a ruse, and actually she does actually have a sleeping curse. But she has a brilliant mind. So while she's awake, she's just running circles around all these people. And then has to sleep occasionally. Mood. I will be interested to see how Melanie does this, honestly. Because when you have a genius main character, it can go very well or very good, right? And so I want to see how actually genius she is, especially with like a lot of her female characters throughout the series are supposed to be like, they're not like other princesses because they're smart, right? I think there's been one or two like that. At least the second one, she was conniving. I'll give her that. Like, that was an actual thing. I think that's why I like the second one, because she was actually smart and conniving, and then once she stopped being conniving, she was her smart but for good type thing. That was the thing happening in that one. But most of the time, it's like, they're supposed to be smart, but like, they're so dumb. Because the situations they're just in, because of the way the book does it from get to point A to B. So I don't know if she'll be able to pull it off. But I'm gonna hope. I'm gonna have high hopes because of that 4.5 out of 5. Anyways, that's the first thing I'm gonna read for this. Goodbye. I'll update you when I read something. Who do you think I am? A person with plans? No. I guess I'll put down my hair for you. Ignore the beads. Those were in one of my birthday boxes. Wine in a Harvey mug. I read all of the Princess game. I almost said Princess Pack. No, that's the third one. Let me start off by saying I'm giving it 3 stars, which I think is the same. I may have done the Red Riding Hood one, the second one, 3.5. If I haven't, I should have put the 3.5, honestly. That one is still my favorite. That being said, my fears of how Melanie would write the duplicity of, here's the issue, all the sisters' names are C-E or C-A, so they all sound the same, so I can't remember if it's Celeste or Celine is the one we're following. I'm just gonna call her Aurora. My favorite part of this is that her spy persona's name is Aurora. Iconic. Also, I did hee a little bit when her aunt, her daughter who died, she named her daughter Briar Rose. Okay, anyways, I may honestly, there's one more book in this series, this one, there's like 4 other connected series, but there's one more in this one, and I may do it in this vlog, we'll see. I did just put the audiobook on hold, speaking of which, I did dual read it, this one, I've been dual reading most of them, and I finished it 11 minutes before it was due, and then, when I went to put the last one on hold, saw, it was available. What you told me is available. There was a wait list. I would have to put on hold. Fucking Libby. Fucking Libby. That's why I read the whole thing today. Anyways. Yeah, I may do that one. for this vlog. I don't know. Just finish off the series since I'm so close. Anyways, the duplicity of Aurora's character and how she's like, was it kind of predictable that the uncle was the bad guy? Yes, but hear me out. When you have one of your father's siblings is already evil-esque, why would you just assume another one is also, when that is an option, and who you're obviously gonna assume is the person who is behind all this conspiracy stuff? So it makes sense why she assumed it was her aunt, being as her aunt did put a curse on her to kill her. Okay, so we gotta talk about this. So apparently, her aunt, husband died, she gave birth, and then the baby died in a fire. And then blamed her brother slash sister-in-law, who was pregnant at the time with the main character. And the stress of it made her go into labor early. And so at her christening, when the fairy godmothers are supposed to show up and like give you, I realize now her name was Melisande or something like that, and she's Maleficent. Funny. That's actually kind of funny. Anyways, all these fairy godmothers show up. And the first two give her great beauty and great intelligence. She shows up and she's like, "Bitch, you didn't invite me to your child's christening right after my child died. I'm gonna curse your child with death. She's gonna die at 16. Peace out." Okay. Right, like, how do you, right? And the third fairy godmother came in. I don't know why she gets 3. I don't, listen, we don't talk about the fairy godmothers. They piss me off so much. Anyways, we'll talk about that in a hot minute, actually. Because it's one of my main complaints. So the third one comes in, and she's like, okay, I can not break the curse, but I can change it. So either she is asleep until she gets true love's kiss when she turns 16. And then when they're like, excuse me, what? She's like, or I can put all of you to sleep. Fucking fairy godmothers in this series. Anyways, hear me out. I don't think that's good, guys. And then she's like, or I could put her mind to sleep. So up until the age of 16, she is a genius. Like, by the time, I think it's described like by the time she was like 10, she was smarter than most adults, right? So she's a genius, and then when she hits 16, complete simpleton. Right? Putting her mind to sleep, right? Now there's like a thing where her 15th birthday, she goes to that same fairy godmother and is like, hey, help me out, because she's been trying to figure out a way to break the curse herself, right? Hear me out. Why did the fairy godmother then went, well, I can put your intelligence to sleep for everybody else, but you're actually awake inside of there, which seems worse to me. Hear me out. I don't want to be a prisoner in my own mind. Thank you very much. It's already bad enough in here. And her reasoning is, one, like, she's validly like, why am I cursed? I was a literal baby. This seems against the rules. And she goes, well, it's payback for other people's actions, and also the fact that you're gonna be a prisoner in your own fucking mind is a lesson that you need to learn. And apparently it's a lesson that she needs to learn about not one, the woman who literally cursed her to death to die. I don't. Anyways, that's just a thing that the fairy godmothers do, where they victim blame a lot, and I don't like it. What do you mean you're gonna blame the literal child that was cursed as a newborn baby to die? Anyways, so throughout the whole book, it's like a thing where she, like, we're in her head, so we can see the genius going on in there. But if she tries to show it outwardly in any way, she becomes violently ill, right? And then so she has to be like a simpleton on the outside, and it's a whole thing where her whole family treats her horribly, and especially her youngest sister. Oh my fucking god, I hate this bitch. She gets better near the end because they start working together as spy master, right? But like, oh my god, including but not limited to whacking her sister over the head and kidnapping her onto a boat, and gets no repercussions. That's the thing. Another thing in this series where people get no repercussions for their actions, and it pisses me off, including the aunt who literally cursed her to die when she was a newborn baby because she was in her own grief as being basically not the moth, get the fuck away from me. Has was it sent to an island to basically a life sentence on this island, right? And they go there thinking she's the one behind all the conspiracy stuff, not important. To learn that she's not the one behind it, and they let her go free. Like, I get not wanting to kill her, I guess, but she shouldn't be set free. I'm sorry, no. I fear for every baby now. Thanks. Like, what? I guess you can like send a litter store now if you want, but like not this shit, guys. Not this shit. This isn't what we want. Did I just whack the moth? Yes, I did. Moths scare me. Anyway, that's just an example of people not getting repercussions for their actions, and it makes no fucking sense. Like, why are you feeling bad for the woman? Like, I can get that you understand that she was grieving in that moment, and that's why she did her actions, but that doesn't negate the fact that she literally put a curse on your newborn baby that she would die. I can not repeat this enough. Anyways, I hate her younger sister. She was kind of the worst. A lot of her family would just like ignore her or roll their eyes when she was like simpleton, right? But the younger sister was the worst of them, right? Constantly being like, I wish I was a curse, because then like maybe then my life would be interesting, and being like, you calling her like all this stuff, saying all this horrible stuff to her and about her in front of her face, knowing that she's too simple to get it, but she did get the whole time. And when she learns this, it doesn't cross her mind to go, oh shit, I was bullying my sibling and harassing my sibling in front of her face, assuming that she couldn't understand it, which is kind of not okay. Hear me out. That's like really not okay. For a thing that she has no control over. And then this shit happens. Okay, I like love Rafe because he's the only one who treated her like a human fucking being. Also do love how William, the love interest, he was all like, "Listen, I'm like kind of into your sister. I get it. Why you want to break her curse so much? Because I'm kind of into her, but like, there's like no way I would be in love with somebody so shallow and simpleton and right, nothing in her head." But there's like something there, something more, but he's also in love with Aurora. And then he's like, oh, they're the same person. That was kind of funny. And that was kind of funny. Anyways, after a restart, I have the same issues that I have with most of them. But it was better done than most of them. So, I am excited to read the Ugly Duckling one, because that one is, I don't think the eldest brother, it was like set up in the epilogue that there was literally nobody else, like no other princesses that are older than 13, and he's like in his 20s, that he could marry for an alliance, and that if it all the other previous couples throughout the whole entire series, which were there in the scene, including ones in the novellas, right? If they taught him nothing, then true love is what the kingdoms need, especially because book two, she also married a commoner. I think two, the first and second one both were marrying commoners, so that's like a whole thing. Um, anyways, uh, yeah, because both of them married commoners and now their kingdoms are thriving much more than they were before. He's all like, Clark, I can just like marry for love. And I know it's supposed to be a random seamstress, and it's kind of not giving me full, but a little bit of pictures in season 4 of what I've seen in the teasers, and I hate how much I have to wait for that. Thank you very much. Anyways, that's my update. I've talked too long about this book. I'm gonna go. Goodbye. Book was okay, but definitely, but are not the worst in the series. Hear me out. Hello, hi. It's been forever. Life be going crazy. Okay. Anyways, I also have a box. This is a book. I know it's a book that I have to open, but that's gonna be end of this clip because we are making a compilation of a bunch of us sniffing the book. And it is a sequel, so it's permanent for this vlog. Even though I've already read it, because I had an arc. So I have already read it. And my sister has the first one with her on vacation, but that's beside the point. That's beside the point. I just realized the chair is out halfway into the room over next to me because there was a spider on the wall. Anyways, my life is chaotic. I did start the next book. I gotta finish it today. It is currently 12 p.m. There is, if I can do math right, about 4 hours of me reading speed left in book. It is due at the library at 5:38. We're fine, we're fine. It's My Calamity Jane. It's the last book in the Janie's series. I don't actually think that's what the series is called. But I read My Lady Jane, which is the first one, which is so far the only one I've liked. Hear me out. In its own dedicated vlog, and then I think I read the second one in a different series vlog, right? So this is the last one. I may could try to read the first of the Mary series, which seems to be interconnected. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. So I may try to read that just because if it is interconnected, it's interconnected to My Lady Jane. Which I loved, 4.5 stars. What's the name of the second one? My Plain Jane, which is the Jane Eyre one. I think I gave like 3 or a 3.5. Let me tell you, I'm bored out of my mind reading My Calamity Jane. I'm like 12% in. It follows. Hear me out. Hear me out. Calamity Jane. In which she's part of like a group of performing shooters. And the whole thing is a cover-up for hunting werewolves. That's it. That's the book so far. So that's like a thing. So yeah, there's 3 POVs so far, at least. It's her, the face of the tour in group's son, who like took her in as family when she was young. And initially I thought they were setting it up so the two of them are a romance, her and Frank. And I was worried about that. But now there's Annie, who actually may be setting up the romance between him and her. And Annie is a random girl from the country who, from a poor family, and she needs money, and her options are become sharpshooter for the show, slash hunt werewolves with them, or, and she's like trying her hardest to do this, or get married to a man who is twice her age at least. Actually, I think she's like 16 and this man is 45. So, as you can imagine, which one she wants to do. Anyways, I'm bored out of my mind. I may just play video games and listen to it, I'll be honest. And that's that. in other news, book. We're just gonna be very carefully opening the book. It does say caution, be careful when opening. We've been really grave with the Pride and Prejudice that I got. Had that. I love how I said I was gonna be quiet during this part because it's like a recording. I'll just start it at this point. Book. Not on my pressure. Done nail polish. Book. I'm just gonna rip the tissue paper. I know how I work. Ladies and gentlemen, passes the sniff test. Oh, yep. I did just say that for somebody else's content. Okay, yeah, I just had it say what I had the first one say on the signature. She said goodies, and then people were talking about bookmarks, and so I was like, bookmark. I think I saw another thing. Free bookmark, I'm putting it in my bookmark cup holder. Yeah, I have a mug of bookmarks. I think it's Baby Groot. I think I saw a sticker in here. I did. Look at him. I'm putting it on my iPad right after this. Look at him. I think his name should be Steven. I'm going with Steven. Alright. We got bookmark, we got Steven. We got the actual book. That can, I was gonna say be displayed on my shelves, but I'm actually gonna wait on that. Because my sister's gonna read it when she gets home, so no point in me putting it on display when I can just wait until she gets home. Anyway, that is this update. I will update you when I finish book. Honestly, if it wasn't for a reading challenge also, I would 100% DNF it right now. Because that's how bored I am. But that's okay. That's fine. I don't need to stress about that. Oh, hi. After a lot of reading, I just had to take a pause at 75%. How do I still have 3.5 hours left in this audiobook? So long. I'm not liking it. Still. I'm pretty sure werewolfism is supposed to be an allegory for other in general, but a lot of the stuff about how it's a disease and whatnot and giving the cure but it's not really a cure is giving gay panic and HIV. I don't know if that's intentional, but it is a thing. Also, hear me out. I think My Lady Jane, the setting and setup of that one was best for this type of comedy that the series is, which is the only reason why I'd continue onto the Mary series. I don't remember if it's actually the first one, but one of them follows Mary Queen of Scots, who was in like one scene of My Lady Jane, and that's why I'm willing to read that one, because technically it should work if it worked in My Lady Jane, right? So like the comedy isn't working and I'm bored out of my mind, and I was gonna say I don't like Westerns, but then I remembered Dread Nation series. I liked that series. That was a Western series. Zombie hunting series. Which I also think I gave a little bit of allegory for some of the things. Anyways, I had to pause and update just to tell you, the only time a joke hit is when Annie is trying to talk somebody down from being a werewolf and goes, "Hey there, big eye, something's coming down real low." Literally, maybe 20 seconds before, I said the line in my head. Okay? And then it actually happened in the book. When did this come out? I think 2020. Yeah. Okay, that would make sense. that did make me tee-hee though. That did make me giggle. Anyways, I forgot that Jane becomes a werewolf in this. That is in the synopsis. That's not a spoiler. It is like in the synopsis where she becomes a werewolf. And so that whole portion, like, you learn shortly after where I started off today, right? That she was bitten, but like the whole entire portion of like her trying to find the cure and the conspiracy with that and all that fun stuff doesn't like start up for real until like the 50% mark. Like 50% of this book, maybe 40, is just set up. And so now I've been sitting here so long and I'm just like, I'm tired. I don't want to read this book anymore. And normally I just pause and start up again tomorrow, but somebody had to wait until like the last 24 hours to pick up the book. Whoops. It's me. I'm the problem here. Anyways, I played some video games. Maybe I'll play more video games while I listen along. I don't know. My head's finally stopped hurting, so there's that. Hello, hi, I finished book. Let me start off by saying the last 25% I liked a lot more, right? There's some funny jokes in that part, actually, hear me out. The way that a character was turned into a werewolf years prior because their child went through a teething phase. Their child who was turned as a baby went through a teething phase. That is so funny. Are you kidding me? Anyways, yeah, the last 25% was a little funny. I liked it. The Annie and Frank relationship grew on me. Oh, and what was I gonna say? Oh, I was gonna talk about the queer allegory thing. Did I mention I finished it 14 minutes before the audiobook was due? Did the library? Whoops. Anyways, the allegory thing. It just feels a little weird to me that the character that we focus arguably on the most, where the werewolfism thing and being villainized for it, despite previously being a hero, blah blah blah. Obviously, I'm talking about Jane. Does have a romance, and it is a queer romance. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? The character that goes through arguably the most to make it evidence for queer allegory is the one who is queer. It just feels a little icky, right? Anyways, I forgot to put down, before I forget, I have to put down how many hours the audiobook was. You know, that's my thoughts and opinions on that specific portion. I have other things I have to do. It just became 5. I thought it was like 5:38 that I was returned, but whatever. And that is my feelings about that aspect. Anyways, most of the book was boring, and I didn't like it, and it felt a little icky. And then the last 25%, my epilogue, I hate epilogues 90% of the time. But the last 25% was like a solid 3.5. So I think if we even it out, it would be a 2.75. So I gotta decide between a 2.5 and a 3. Welcome to my brain. I'm gonna go with a 2.5. Hear me out, because most of the reading experience was a 2-star, so that would make more sense. I don't know what I'm on to make this keep happening to me in the past week, but that's fine. Maybe I'll read a good book again. We'll see. And that's that. I'll update you at some point. I have plenty of other books to read for this that are also finishing series. Like, this is actually me finishing a series. In fact, I know the next book I'm going to read that isn't for this is also finishing series. That's a Kindle Unlimited series, but that's its own solo video that comes out before this one. So, that's fun. Anyways, 2 books done for this vlog. Let's go. I'm gonna go finish doing all the little work I have to do before I can play video games with friends. Goodbye. Hello and welcome to... Rose forgot to bring up another thing about this book. The reason why she's not liking it. Editing me can just delete this whole portion if I did mention it. Because I feel like I may have, but I can't remember if I did. But I feel like this is important, which is around the 50% mark is what I'm gonna say, because that's when it goes to part 2. Whenever part 2 happens, there are like few chapters leading up to that. That's another thing. This was a little triggering. A little triggering, so that also may be why. Just saying. And it's not the book's fault. It's just like, I wonder if it's in the content warnings. I'm gonna go with no, not at all. Being as I don't have the warning symbol, and if anybody labeled it as a thing, I would have been warned on Storygraph, so yeah, no. Okay, I am scared to tell you how long it's been since I updated you. I did just check. Last book was end of May-ish. It is the last day of June. It has been over a month. I've continued multiple series. Only 2 of those were Kindle Unlimited ones, which I finished this series. I just finished another one. But those 2 were in separate vlogs. So I'll give you like 1 sentence rundown and you can look up the vlogs. Also, my mother's birthday party was in June birthday. She made her go-to punch. But before it goes bad and whatnot, we have to drink it. So I've drinking a lot of it. It is very strong. So, if my sentences don't make sense, that is why. Okay? As I say, drink more. I've only drinking half of this. At least this is the last of it. Okay? And then we're good. We're free. We can... I was gonna say drink White Claws, but we ran out of the peach, and that's the only one I liked. The 2 books that were in separate vlogs, there was Serviced, which is the last book in the Utensils Mutt series I've been reading. It has its own vlog, like all the books in the series. I think that one I gave 3 stars. My basic rundown of the review is, there's no Utensils Mutt in my Utensils Mutt. What the fuck is this? But there's a whole vlog for that above in the cards. Also, up above in the cards is the wheel picks how many hours I read per week. There's 2 versions. There's pages and hours. Hours is where I did Snowden, which I also gave 3 stars. The first one I gave 3 stars. That one's a duology. I do like Snowden more than the first one because the basic premise / trope is more my thing. That being said, they're not like groundbreaking or anything, but it is an easy, fast, very fast read. So there's that. 3 stars. Okay, on to The Princess Search, the last book in the Melanie Sellier series. Also, we're not talking about the eczema. That's another reason I haven't been updating you. It's so bad on my eyes, and I can't get, I can't think of words, and it's not because of the alcohol. It's because I can't think of words. Steroid. Cream is normally what they would give you because it's literally on my eyelids and under eye. They won't do that because it would literally end up in my eyes. So that means I need to take actual steroids if I go to the doctor. And I'm not taking actual steroids. I do not care. I will die on this hill. Quite literally. So that's another reason I haven't been updating you, because it fluctuates and I have given up. The options are put on sunglasses like I did like 2 years ago when this happened, or give up. This is the give up option. I could put sunglasses on if I knew where they were. I don't normally wear them for obvious reasons. These glasses are giant. Anyways, Princess Search. Last book in that series. The issue is now I have to figure out which one is the next series. because there's like four or five interconnected series, and it did at the end set up the youngest sister of this one kingdom being the next one, I think, and going off to unknown lands. Very Arya Stark at end of Game of Thrones. Kind of funny actually. This is one of the ones I actually liked, along with the second one, which is the Red Riding Hood, and the previous one, which is the fourth one, because it's the fifth one, I believe. The previous one as well. And the reasoning is because I have clocked the romance means fucking nothing in these books. They kiss maybe once and then they're getting married, and we don't even get to see the marriage. We just know they kiss once, maybe they lift up the girl and twirl her around, they say I love you after like 2 weeks, and they're getting married. And it's magically confirmed true love because fairy godparents and whatnot. That part does not fucking matter. I don't know why I keep on labeling it as romance theme attractor. I should just label it as fantasy, because what's important is the political aspect. And I'm kind of living for it. And that's why second, fourth, and fifth are my favorite, because the second was about what was previously a villain in this world becoming the hero. That one was really good for that reason. Fourth is about somebody who's secretly working as a spy behind the scenes for the political intrigue. Book 5 is a culmination of all of that, in which we travel across the whole entire world. I contemplate giving it 3.5, but the only reason I didn't and stuck with a 3 is because some of the terminology for the East, and the people who live there and the different communities there, like the jungle people, it was like I very clearly, I have no say in this, but it gave me a little bit of a, like, it was a side-eye moment. I was in there like, so I was gonna say it's 2008. No, it's 2018. Definitely should know better. Me at 26 is going, I don't know about that one, fam. So there's that. I didn't particularly look hard for reviews saying something about that, so I can't say if they were already saying something about that. But that's the main reason why I gave it a 3 instead of a 3.5. Because this is a culmination of all the political stuff that I actually liked reading in a book. And just like also happens to be the crown prince, next king of this country, being her love interest. This is the ugly duckling one, by the way. I got distracted by a spider web. Is it the ADHD or is it the rum? I think it's rum in this. That makes sense, actually. Because now, at 26-year-old, I sometimes get headaches after drinking alcohol. We're not talking about that. I'm so sad. After years and years and years having no effects, now is what I do. Anyways, rum and gin are the two that I don't. Which is great, because those are the two I like. Anyways, ugly duckling, she has like no family. She's been an orphan her whole life. Has no clue who her biological family is. She's been passed around through families, banded basically. And it's like we're traveling backwards through her time of being abandoned, since before becoming the dressmaker, royal dressmaker, right? And so, or seamstress, and she's on tour with the royal family, specifically Celine. Frederick is the crown prince and the one she marries, and a guy whose name starts with a C. Anyways, traveling to these different areas, where she was definitely poorly treated, right, by people. That was the one thing where I was like, oh my god, it's like every place she's gonna be treated absolutely horrendously by people who are supposed to be her family, quote unquote. And then like an adult, we're running into or the people who are in charge of the traveling merchant aspect through the desert. One of the people ahead there happens to be an old friend of hers who she's actually really friendly with, and they are actually all really nice with her. And like remember her and are really sweet, and she has good memories with them. So, well, if you ignore all the murder and death she witnessed, but that's anyways, we're like basically going backwards because like obviously the place he starts the furthest away. Doing this tour basically of the royals to try to figure out who leading this conspiracy to fuck them up, right? And it's kind of connected to the last one, because the reason why they think they're able to do this and take down the royals is because of the stuff that happened in the last one, right? So it's all connected, and it's actually good. Like, the plot stuff is actually kind of good, and I had a good time reading it. Like, do I get annoyed by the narrator's voice sometimes, especially for the female characters? Yes. She's one of those ones who does the squeaky high-pitched voice for the female characters, which I thought we got rid of in like 2012, but no, this is 2018. But that's beside the point. I read it, I liked it, 3 stars. I gotta pick out which one to read next. I'm scared of that. I assume it's gonna be Celine. I haven't checked. You think in this day I'm gonna do that? No, that's tomorrow me shop. Oh yeah. Things stuff did that, finished another series. Let's heck and go. I gotta figure out what book to read next for this. I have options, multitude. It'd be great if I did one of them. I just realized I have to label the series as done on Notion as well. That's also tomorrow me's job. Hello, hi. It's so long since I've updated this vlog that I don't have nails anymore. I chopped them off. Listen. The nails. This is pertinent, something I can bring up, because it's part of the excuse on why I haven't updated you. Part of the excuse, okay? Which is I live on a farm. It's hay season, which means doing actual labor work. And most of the things I do, because I am weak little being, right, wouldn't really affect nails, but a little bit. And it was at the point where I was up on a high platform lifting bales that I'm allergic to. Don't worry about it. That's the other thing. Try not to be stung by bees. I did on this hand. You can't see the mark. That the idea of, like, in order to catch a bale to make sure that it didn't fall, my nail like went through it at one point, and I went, no, I gotta chop them off. Perfect day I did it too, because later that day we ended up doing it. But that's why I have no nails, and that's also why I haven't updated you. I used the excuse that I had an eczema flare up. I still have one. This eye is a little bad right now. I had a mini flare up overnight because eczema, but also mixed with the grass allergy I have that has gotten progressively worse this year apparently. And I live on a farm and it's hay season. Can you put the things together? They're blending wonderfully, causing my eye. One day I woke up, I couldn't see out of my left eye, this eye, because it was so swollen. Like, and it's bright red, and it's not pretty. It's not pretty. So my options were, I've had to do this before. I think this has happened before, but it was nowhere near this level, where I just wore sunglasses when I updated. But that mixed with the fact that, here's the thing about this vlog. When I have a book from Kindle Unlimited, no matter how much I want to read it, one of the 2 books I'm going to bring up is one that both of them actually were books I was really excited to read. Right? But if I don't also have the audiobook from Libby, which for both of these I did, the reason I'm finally reading both of them is because one of them was due today, and the other one's due tomorrow. And I can't renew them. Finally. Finally, there's like no option for me to renew them. I can't do anything about it. So I gotta read them. But if that doesn't happen, I just don't pick up the book. And then the bad news is when I actually pick up the book, I'm usually borrowing books. I'm excited for it. So then when I actually pick up the book, I'm having a great time and I'm reading and blah, 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 blah. But between my, like, 22 library loans, we don't need to talk about that. That all are due at the same time. We don't need to talk about, we don't. And my skin issues, and also, the fact that there's, like, no actual motivation to read them, especially since, like, the motivation would just be this vlog, but then somebody went and pre-filmed a bunch of read with me's in case there's, like, almost a whole month where they didn't film. I condition. It was fine. That was why. Absolutely, for, like, 3 weeks in a row, I think. That's all it was uploaded on Saturdays. But because of that, there's a bunch of them, so it felt like I can't get this out this week. That's fine. I can just schedule one of those. I just edited one today. Like, it's easy. It's easy. So there's, like, was no outside motivation, except I actually wanted to read the books until Libby went, bitch, you go and do it today. Anyways, speaking of which, Ruthless Vows is one. Here we go. Is one I did start last month, I think, and I got 35% of the way through, but there was no way I could finish it in time. And then I learned my other library card, it was available on the audiobook way, so I just switched what card it was on. I kept on flip-flopping it, but now I'd have to put on hold for both of them and it's due tomorrow. So I gotta read it. My thoughts and opinions are so far, are feeling very bad about it. Listen, I had high hopes because I did hear things. I did hear things about it. People who read Divine Rivals. Yeah, that's the name of the first one. Divine Rivals. A lot of them didn't, from the people that I watch or read reviews from at least, didn't like Ruthless Vows as much. And I went, okay. After reading it, I don't remember if it was 4.5 or 5. I think it was 4.5. I was a little worried, but I went in with high hopes. I get it. We as a society in the year 2025, did it come out this year or last year? 25 or 24, should have moved past the amnesia trope. Thank you very much. On top of that, she is hiding her first name from him. Gave him her middle name, which if he fully remembered her, he would remember that's her middle name, right? So that's her reasoning. She's like, I'm telling him my middle name if he knew, like, that was the thing in the first book, so, like, he would know it was her, because she's got to be careful of information she gives him, because he is working for the enemy, because he is kind of undead now because of her brother. I want to punch that bitch so bad. I get her reasoning, but also we have his point of view, and so we know if she just gave her actual name, he'd be like, that's the woman I love. I should go to her. Like, literally, he's all like, I can't be with Iris because, I think that's her middle name, because, like, he's starting to feel a little feelings for her, but he's all like, I can't do that because there's this other woman I love. That's a different name, that I do remember her name and that I love her. He's such a fucking dumbass sometimes. Anyways, it's just like that small miscommunication that is understandable, but because of that, he doesn't know that's her, right? And so that makes with the amnesia trope is why they're not together, and I'm annoyed. And so, after like a month-long break, I gotta read it. I may finish it tonight. I had 9 hours exactly in the audiobook, so I could finish it tonight. There's a possibility. I've been playing a lot of Crime Scene Cleaner. In fact, today that I'm recording this is the day that the first video for Crime Scene Cleaner went up. Don't worry, that's all of August. On Wednesdays, have fun. Anyways, I'm doing like the expanded stuff post the main story on my own time, listening to audio. It's a great game to play when you're listening to audiobooks, let me tell you. Except when you have to do an escape room, and I was so confused. You do not understand. I don't think I'd be good at escape rooms. Anyways, that being said, the one that I did read all of today, just finished, most of which while playing Crime Scene Cleaner, was You're the Problem, It's You, which is a sequel to Don't Want You Like a Best Friend. Which that one is about these two girls who are like in society, and they are best friends, but then they start to fall in love, right? And trying to handle that, needing the pressure of like getting married, for security, but also like if your family's destitute, that's like the only way you can help type thing. This one follows their selective cousins. Now they're also stepsisters because their parents married and are having a child, but also they have cousins. Bobby for Beth. The only reason I remember this, no wait, Bobby is Gwen's cousin, but he marries Beth. That's that happens in the end, but I don't think that's a spoiler because that's what I went to this book expecting. Like they said in the beginning or at the end of the first one, like that was what their plan was to have their cousins marry them, and then they can be fake married, and or like it's a fake marriage, but they're together, right? Like Bobby and James are together, and Beth and Gwen are together. And James and Gwen get married, which means James is Beth's cousin, and Bobby is Gwen's cousin. Does it make sense? No. No, it does not. My head hurts so much trying to do that with I am so bad with character names. Can you tell I'm having allergies? You can't see. It's all blotchy and red right now. The heat up here does not help. But I need to be up here anyways to get my laundry. Anyways, it was cute. It was 4 stars. It's a story. James always had a thing by Bobby in the school days. And now, he has come, like, his father died when he was young, so he's always, like, technically at the title of Viscount, but, like, now he's an adult. He's a man. He has the official title, but he's dealing with his abusive stepfather. And his sexuality, like, he's known his sexuality for a while, but, like, dealing with, perceived notions about that and stuff like that. Bobby has a very secure family. Like, his father was also a dick. But he's dead now. And he is very happy with his family. They're all very supportive of him and his thing for men. Then he gets blackmailed by a guy who used to blackmail James. And so they get together to stop this man. And in the process, get together. And now they're married at the end. 4 stars, same as what I rated the first one, apparently. It is a good series. I recommend if you want to get historical romance. That's another thing I have been kind of dying for, gay historical romance. The pining and passion in them. Right? So I've been dying for a new one because I just keep on rereading the same ones. And this had spot enough for me to hold off until I reread A for a Duke. 4 stars. It was good. I'm gonna go start my laundry, then read Ruthless Vows. Goodbye. Hi. I would like you to know I did have a flare up last night. I am trying very hard not to itch them right now. Thankfully it is a rainy day, hence this. And the cricket's like crazy outside. Oh my god. Which is stamping it. But I finished Ruthless Vows today, the next day at 2 p.m. Yeah, I didn't read any. I ended up watching Dark Souls 3 deep dive videos. They're like 7 hours long. I'm not even done with it. Well, I played the video game, and have I ever played a Dark Souls game? No. I think I would like Bloodborne, honestly. Or I almost said Elder Scrolls. That's not the right game. Is it? No. I'm so confused all of a sudden. My brain's not working today. Should I mention that? I have attention headache. Yeah. Anyways, remember yesterday when I got her fucking name wrong. Iris is her first name. Elizabeth is her middle name. That should have been easy to remember. But no, I'm a dumbass. Also, I was glad about the amnesia trip, blah, 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 blah. I was sitting there for, like, maybe less than half an hour before he realized, oh, these 2 people are the same person because, they run into each other. And he's all like, oh, and that's when all his memories come back. They all just come flooding back. Because he touched his wife. Valid. Um, so it's like under 50%, somewhere between the 35 and 50%. Because I was at 35 when I started reading today. It was definitely before I reached the 50% mark that happened. That is an issue. Also, I'm not the biggest fan of us not seeing Baker. Is that his name? The evil god. Like, we know how he was defeated and by who. We just don't get to see it. It just cuts from that to like another character's POV elsewhere hours later, in which he hears that happened. And I'm just like, that's cool. I would have liked to know what actually fucking happened. But no. Anyways, I think it would have been very funny if Iris became the new Chancellor. Or Chancellor, I think that's the right title. That would have been very funny. Anyways, book was fine. I was literally talking to my sister, and she was like, you know, what I've heard about that one is the first one people really like, and the second one people are very mad about. And I went, yeah. Because I did check it. I rated the first one 4.5. This one, 3.5. Hear me out. When he got his memories back, I was having a slightly better time. And the audiobook is still really good. I don't remember the narrators. It's dual. I'm pretty sure it's dual narrators. But it is good. It is well done. And I love that. But this one didn't have as many lines that, like, really had me, like, being just, like, wanting to highlight the whole thing. Like, wanting to have a physical copy to annotate, right? Like the first one did. This one, literally there was one line that I was like, okay, I guess I'll highlight it on my Kindle. But, like, whatever. So that's that. That being said, that is me finishing 2 series. Right there. Between these two. Listen, this vlog's been going on for 16 years. In actuality, like 3 months. Whoops. So I don't actually remember how many I read. How many, like, books. How many series I finished. At least 2, I know that. Like, I remember reading Snowden. Finishing the Fitzpatrick Christmas series. But I think that was in another vlog. And I just brought it up here. And same with The Serviced. The last book of the Utensil Smut series. So I don't... Right? Like, I'm confused. What did I read in this other than these 2 books? My head hurt. I don't know. I would like to know the way my brain works. Listen, we should be very proud of me. This summer really started my DNFing arc of if it's given meh 3-star vibes, I can DNF it. Like, I can be like, yeah, it's probably gonna be good and 3 stars, but I don't. Life's short. I don't need to read another 3-star in my life, right? And so, Ruthless Vows was it was actually a thing that I was contemplating this morning. Like, what if I just DNF it instead of finishing it? But anyways, I didn't do that. Time to move on with my life and read all Radium Girls now. Whoops. I do share one of my library cards with my sister, and she's upset because she can't borrow any books right now because I've used up all the loans. And Radium Girls is the next one that's due on my library card. So I need to go do that. And I'll play more video games because I'm me. I do have the audiobook of that one. So that's that. That's this vlog. Editing me will pop in. I'm so sorry, honey. I'm so sorry. That's probably gonna be tomorrow me, if I'm gonna be honest. The way I feel. I'm so sorry. But she will pop in with the final stats and whatnot and rundown.
Oh my god, it's editing me. Fuck you, past me. I knew this. I knew past me. Past me knew. I'd be upset. Also, I showed my normal webcam app from my phone. I had an update that broke it. And so I'm using a different webcam app. But this doesn't like it, so I had to do like 16 in betweens to make it work for this update where I tell you the books I read, which you've already watched the whole vlog. That's like an hour long if you've got to this point. But I'll talk about it. listen, as soon as I started editing, I did remember I finished the Melanie Cellular series, read the last 2 books in that series. Soon, I will start the next one. I did figure out what is the next one. I do have the audiobook. It is due in like 8 days at the library. So I will read that one soon. Because kind of this is just like my cozy universe at this point. Um, right? The other thing to note, I am at 57 series. If I can do math properly, I may not be able to. I keep on being off by one every time I do this at the beginning of the month. I don't understand. But I am at 57 currently. So in the quarter since this clock started. Oh my god. I have read I have finished 2 series. So that's fine. That's fine. That's the stats for that. So I read the 2 Melanie Celliers. I think I rated both of them 3 stars. I don't think I rated either one of them 3.5. But minus the second one, which is my favorite of the series, they are my favorites. Like, it's that one and then those 2 that I really, really liked. Probably the last one and then the 4th one. Right? In order. Then My Calamity Jane. I forgot about this bitch. I literally was like, why did I rate it 2.5 stars? And I was editing and I was listening to myself talk about it. So there's all those reasons. But also, like, yeah, I get why I gave it 2.5 instead of a 3. Because I did contemplate giving it 3. Because, and hear me out, I don't remember fucking anything. What is, I don't, I remember that Calamity Jane was all fruity. That's it. Um, that's that. And then, You're the Problem with You. We've already talked about this, like, very recently. So I finished that series. I finished the Jane series. I finished the, Divine Rival series. I was trying to figure out what the name of the series is, but I can't. I think it's Enchantment something. Um, and the Melanie Cellular series. So I've read 5 books, but finished 4 series, and I actually only finished series. I didn't like just make progress in a few by reading 16 volumes of Yona the Dawn. Hack a dream. No, instead I actually finished 4 series. Look at me go. Let me go. It only took me 3 months. I mean, I already talked about 2 other series I also finished that would have fit into this vlog if they weren't in other vlogs. And there's also, like, the other series that I finished that didn't go into this vlog because they weren't Kindle loaded. So, like, there was progress in general being made. I swear. You just didn't see it all. The end. I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna go finish this, bitch. Bye. And eat my marshmallows at 12:26 p.m.
She's gonna kill me. And I know that. It's fine. It's fine. Do we ever just think about how Onyx Storm is the only one in the Fourth Wing series that isn't on Kindle Unlimited? Because I do. I think about that every day. Or else I would have already read it. Anyways, that's that. I don't know what else to say. My head hurts, and I just become a dumbass. End of vlog. Vlog done. Leave now. No. Outro stuff. Do the things. I think if you comment or like things, I think I'm supposed to tell you a comment thing if you get to end of video. So, I don't know what the comment flower, because this Vows has kind of flowers on the cover. The way I almost read Divine Rivals like last May for my flowers vlog is so wild. Anyways, the way my brain works. Wednesdays gaming videos. All of August is going to be crime scene cleaner, so have fun. And then you get more of Jurassic World Evolution as soon as that's done. I know that's how far ahead I am. I kind of got obsessed with the game. Whoops. I say I'm gonna go and play it some more after this. Fridays is booktube videos, whether those be vlogs like this one or read with me's, because I have a lot of those ready to go for when I get in slumps. Eki this whole month. And that's everything. Stay tuned for more of those. Mondays are shorts about when I read weekly instead of like monthly wrap-ups. That's what I'm doing. But you can also find those on Instagram, as well as occasional book reviews there, that are more in depth. And that is everything. Links of all the things below, including my Twitch. It's a fun time. If you want to see me play video games live, in which sometimes we talk about which Stardew character romanceable man knows female anatomy better, cough cough. I have a very specific opinion on this, and you know, that's the type of conversations we have there. And that's that. Until the next video.